Hi guys, I'm Diansu.
Where is the lamsa?
But that's an aside, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit the bell for more content. Anyways, without further deliberation, let's get on with the show. Minecraft's food is kind of bland, and while Abnormals does add some nice healthy food from the United States of America, it can still be kinda simple at times. But with Farmers and Abnormals Delight, the food selection, quality, and even the dynamics around them are improved greatly. So let's dive down into it. Alright, let's begin where it all does, the ground, for you see, the very dirt your crops grow on has been improved. For you see, by piling up all the god-awful things you have, like bone meal, rotten flesh, tree bark, straw, and a copy of an Adam Sandler movie on DVD, you can make organic compost. This block will slowly decompose into the luxurious, tender, absolutely
Rich soil.
Of course, if you want to make it decompose faster, you can put it in sunlight, next to water, mushrooms, cottagecore hell mushroom colonies, we'll talk about them later, more rich soil or compost, mycelium, and podzol. Rich soil grows crops faster when hydrated and is immune to the dreaded trampling of mobs. In the wild, you'll find new and at times quite pretty looking plants. Those are wild crops. Wild crops can be harvested directly for their crops, alongside seeds and occasionally flowers. In addition, they do have native biomes where you'll find them. On beaches, you'll find sea beets and wild cabbages. Don't buy them from street vendors, bad things happen. In the waters of swamps and jungles, you'll find wild rice. In cold biomes, will be wild potatoes. In hot biomes, expect to find tomato vines. In temperate biomes, you'll find wild carrots, and my personal favorite, the wild onion. All of these crops are able to be bundled into some nice looking blocks, and you better start stocking up on them once we get into the illustrious process of cooking. Of course, we can't forget our favorite vegetable not vegetable, the mushroom. For you see, not only are mushrooms and fungi more related to us animals than they are plants, but also when they're planted on rich soil, they'll grow into bustling colonies. Fun fact, if you eat the magic ones, you'll see new colors. A British person and a chef are alike in the fact that they are nothing without their knives. In-game, they function as a new tool alongside a pretty decent weapon, with them having lower attack damage with higher speed. And while enchantable with all normal sword enchants, they also come packaged with the backstabbing enchantment, which does exactly what you think. For non-combative use, not only does it give you extra when killing livestock plus hammer, or extra forage on crops, but it also allows you to get a new, hyper-advanced material known as straw when harvesting grass, wheat, or rice. Straw is the all-new material based off the patent of Thomas Straw, inventor of straw added in by Farmer's Delight. They are used to make a number of new materials, like rope, a new block that you can use to rappel into the depths of the abyss, or use to make leads. Of course, if profits are done at the factory and your workers are a bit unhappy, you can get the all-new safety net, the ultimate block for cushioning falls and or trampolines. Straw can also be used to create tatami blocks and mats, a new and nice looking block for any rooms in your build. Straw can also be crafted into canvas, another new material used to create colorful canvas signs, sorta coarse rugs, a substitute for leather and books, woolen paintings, string and scaffolding, milk and cereal, gasoline for your car, bread and sandwiches from Subway, and the way to create the illustrious basket. Baskets are capable of capturing blocks like a hopper in all cardinal directions, however also have the same amount of storage as a chest. Unlike hoppers, however, they cannot transfer items. If filled with water, it will only pour in one direction, and finally, like hoppers, when given redstone charge, they will not take in any items. To make a great deal of food, you're able to prepare and chop them up on the cutting board. More often than not, they can actually be used as a substitute for their whole forms in several recipes, alongside allowing you to explore several new and tasty foods. And the best part is, there is a 0% chance of you cutting off your finger and then that finger appearing in a cup of Wendy's chili. In addition, you can use several other tools with the cutting board. With axes, you can get stripped logs plus tree bark. With pickaxes, you can break down bricks into their basic components. Shovels bowl up clay, and with shears you can scrape the leather out of items.
My question is, can you get the copper wiring out?
As a side note, if you shift right click a cutting board with the tool, you'll embed them into the board for some dramatic villain arc flair. The campfire's 4-at-once cooking may be powerful, but with the dawn of the stove's far more advanced 6-at-1 cooking, expect to see campfires leaving the kitchen quite soon. For you see, instead of flinging its products around like a madman, it will instead lightly pop off in a neat little pile. If you want to cool it down, use a shovel or water bucket. To turn it back on, use a flint and steel. The skillet is the ultra-portable way to cook your food. For you see, when you're around a fire, campfire, a stove, or if you're feeling nostalgic for Iceland, lava, you can rapidly cook your food that's in your offhand with a skillet in the main hand, which allows for a whole new degree of portability in cooking. When placed as a block, you can cook up to a stack of items on them, which they will cook in a sequence. Of course, the best reason to have a skillet is as a weapon, dealing 7 damage, and with an axe to your attack speed, it may not be ideal, but it's certainly something, and it's all worth it for that satisfying stout shake or two refined, I say. As a side note, all sword enchantments minus Sweeping Edge work on Skillet. In addition, when given fire aspect, it will cook food a bit faster. When placed on top of a heat source block, it will give off magical particles. Returning to our scheduled music, perhaps the linchpin feature for any advanced food item is the cooking pot, not to be confused with the crackpot. Whether it be dumplings, pasta, shepherd's pie, or chicken soup, it will likely have to be cooked in a pot. Now, in order to provide fuel for it, you'll have to place them on top of a heat source block, and often for a lot of the food items, you'll need a bowl to serve them. Although, if you want some escargot, you need to use a snail shell piece for that. Farmer's Delight offers two unique status effects that come from food. There's nourishment, which you'll get from hearty food items like pasta with meatballs, or if you like running with Abnormal's Delight, pike with beetroot. When in effect, nourishment will make it so that your saturation does not go down unless healing. Then there's comfort. You'll get this from stews and soup, like rabbit stew and chicken soup. When this effect is active, you'll become immune to hunger, slowness, the hollowness inside of you ever since you went away, and weakness. Several other food items offer more common effects. For example, hamburgers give you strength, which is contrary to their IRL effects. Chocolate pies give you speed, which is contrary to their IRL effects. And in Abnormal's Delight, you'll get water breathing from pickerel weed juice, which IRL just makes you drown faster. While food on the go may be nice, we can all appreciate a nice square meal, pun was intended. These food items are known as feasts, which include stuffed pumpkin, roast chicken, honey glazed ham, and the shepherd's pie. All of these foods are placed as blocks and need to be eaten politely with bowls rather than like actual dogs by hand.
Jesus Christ, how do you scarf down a whole turkey like that?
In addition, you can also eat cakes and pies by slicing them up with a knife. Pet food is a new form of food designed for your animal's friend well-being in mind. Currently there's dog food, which gives strength, speed, and resistance to tamed wolves. Then there's the future tense horse feed, which gives speed and jump boost to tamed horses. Of course, in Abnormal's Delight, if you happen to own a pet slabfish, you can give them the slab dish, which, when eaten by the unspoken beasts of Belarogrod, will give speed 2, regeneration, and fire resistance. And when eaten by you, will make you see your lunch for the second time today. Before we reach the food itself, let's talk pantries. While they are functionally identical to barrels, they come in a whole number of wood varieties for both vanilla and abnormals. And with the unique texture on their sides, they'll be perfect for any details for your builds. Of course, the greatest attraction to Farmer's Delight is the food itself, with as many recipes as there are stars in the sky. Issue is, there are as many recipes as there are stars in the sky, and therefore trying to decide what your favorite food is will be quite the process. A painful one. However, today I'll go off script and teach you how to make my two favorite foods, chicken sandwich and cherry cream soda. So let's dive down into it. For the first two ingredients in a chicken sandwich, get some bread and some carrots. They won't need to be processed any further, so you're alright on these. Then, get a whole chicken and cut it into small pieces using a knife on a cutting board. Get the small pieces and then cook them thoroughly on your preferred cooking device. I'm always one to use the skillet, so that's my personal choice. Then get a head of lettuce and cut it up into its leaves on a cutting board. Finally, get all of your ingredients, put them on a crafting table, and now you'll have a chicken sandwich. The cherry cream soda uses more exotic ingredients, meaning you'll have to have both environmental, Neapolitan, and Abnormal's Delight installed. So first, get some milk in a bucket and then dilute it into bottles if you want to. Second, go to an environmental cherry forest and cut a cherry tree down. It will eventually drop some cherries. Visit a savanna and get some Neapolitan vanilla. Harvest the pods and then cook them. Get some sugar as well. Finally, mix all of your ingredients together, plus a glass bottle in the bowl slot, and you'll have some nice cherry cream soda awaiting you. Upon consumption, cherry cream soda will give you the slow falling effect. The show's gotta come to an end. So, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. This is your host, Diansu.